First Minister, for the next financial year, it has been forecast that just over half of the Welsh Government's entire budget will be spent on health. However, when we look at opinion polls, it's clear that the Welsh people don't think that the NHS is working in Wales. In May 2014, after 15 years of the Welsh Assembly, BBC and ICM asked people if having the Assembly had led to an improvement in the NHS, a decline, or had made no difference. Less than 1 in 4 people believed that it had led to an improvement. Health is clearly a vital area for your government and for the people of Wales. But do you think that spending 50% of the whole budget on health is sustainable, and are the Welsh people getting the health service they deserve?
Well, if he's suggesting that spending 50% on health isn't sustainable, he is advocating another model. Now, if he's advocating another model that includes a reduction of coverage or the introduction of an insurance-based scheme, then I'm willing to hear what his ideas are. I'm sure he can explain those to the people of Wales. We have shown the people of Wales that we have continued to spend the money that's needed on the health service, despite, of course, seeing enormous cuts, £4 billion in real terms of cuts over the past 8 years from the UK government. And I know full well that if you ask people in England what their views of the health service in England, you're likely to get very similar results to those in 2015. And since 2015, things have hugely improved. The new treatments fund that's been launched, the fact that we have, of course, more targets that are being reached. We look at ambulance response targets in terms of red calls. They are being reached, and that's a sign of the commitment that we have made to the health service.
Clearly, your assessment of your government's performance isn't really shared by the people of Wales. But one key issue that is clearly having a detrimental impact on the NHS is health tourism and immigration. Yes. The UK government has estimated that treating health tourists costs up to £300 million a year. There is also the pressure caused by mass immigration. The Office for National Statistics stated that in 2017 there were 280,000 more people migrating into the UK than migrating out. So, 280,000 more people having access to our NHS. That's more than the population of Swansea. So, First Minister, do you accept that uncontrolled immigration has played a major part in the huge crisis in our NHS?
Well, my experiences of people who have come to the UK is that they're young, fit and vigorous. They don't put much pressure on the NHS because they are net contributors tax-wise and they take very little out as a result of it. Let me give you an example of health tourism. The doctors who work in our NHS, the nurses, the physiotherapists, the medical staff, all of whom have come to Britain to work within the National Health Service. The National Health Service could not exist without being able to access the medical expertise of doctors, nurses and others from other countries. Yeah, I think health tourism is a good thing because it makes sure our people stay well and alive.
Yes, First Minister, I thought you would do your usual thing and trumpet on about all of the foreign nationals working in the NHS. And of course, you normally add how Brexit will be threatening the health service. However, BBC research revealed that, as of September 2016, just 2.5% of all NHS staff in Wales are from the European Union. In fact, more than 93% of staff working in the Welsh NHS are from the UK. If you are really worried about filling the gaps, then you should be asking yourself, why are we not training more British people to work in the NHS? Yet again, your side is condemning me for mentioning uncontrolled immigration. However, this year, a Migration Watch poll found that 73% of voters support the goal of immigration being reduced dramatically. This also includes a majority of Labour voters. Is this not another case, First Minister, of you being out of touch with the Welsh people in general, and even worse, out of touch with your own Labour voters?
Well, we win elections on this side. I don't know about you over there, but your group has gone down quite significantly since you first arrived in the Assembly. I know you have a rotating leadership scheme within UKIP, but let me say one thing to him now. People will be amazed at his dismissal of the contribution of those from outside the UK to our health service. Even on his own figures, he says 7% of those working in the NHS are from other countries. Is he saying they shouldn't be there? Because they're the wrong skin colour, or they're from the wrong part of the world? I don't care where they're from. What I care about is they make people well. I don't care where someone was born. What I want to make sure is somebody has the expertise to treat cancer, to treat heart disease, to perform operations in orthopaedic wards. That's what I care about. I could not care less about their background as long as they are providing services for our people. Take the blinkers off your eyes, open your eyes to the world, and stop thinking that somehow anybody and everybody who lives in this country from a migrant family is in some way not welcome. Every single person, as I've said before, in this chamber is a descendant of an immigrant. Every single person. It's simply a question of our family, of when our families came. In some ways, you know, the UKIP don't seem to recognise that, but take the blinkers off and stop saying to the people of Wales, we want to get rid of doctors that make you well because of our own strange political and often racist dogma.
Question 3, Jenny Rathbone.
What is the Welsh Government's strategy for tackling air pollution?